world was. And that was all. One eternal, stagnant moment with no beginning and no end. Grey was the fog that covered the land, and grey were the arched trees, whose trunks scraped up to the sky and plunged deep below the earth. Grey were the everlasting dragons, whose scales were stone and whose wheels were iron. And below that was darkness. And that was all. Until it wasn't. Until there was fire. And with fire came disparity. The world now knew heat, and in its absence they knew cold. It now knew life, and in its absence, death. They now knew of light, and in its absence, they knew darkness. And out of that darkness, that very first darkness, deep below the world of grey, they came. They were hollow beings, bereft of all, and saw fire for the first time. And in seeing that fire, they knew they were or now aware of their own emptiness. And of disparity's flame they filled themselves. Mightiest of all were the four souls of lords, the most foundational aspects of disparity. And those who took that for their own, they knew divinity. The soul of life went to the witch Eodelith and her daughters of chaos, and its twin, the soul of death, went to the grave lord Nito, first to ever know death itself. And the soul of light went to Gwyn, he who would become a high lord, the lord of sunlight, the mightiest of all the gods. And the soul of dark, you ask? The dark soul went to the furtive pygmy, oft forgotten. Now he had no interest in lordship or of crowns. He took the dark soul into his hands, and he split it. He doled them out to his fellows, and it filled their hollowness just enough. And in those he gave that gift began to stir humanity. Now High Lord Gwyn, Grave Lord Nito, and the witch Eodelith now knew power, and at that same moment they knew want. Why, ascended as they now were, would they content themselves with the world below? The everlasting dragons above knew nothing but primacy. Surely now they could be made to understand otherwise. It was war then, the first war ever waged, and it would have ended as soon as it began, if High Lord Gwyn had not caught the eye of Seath, the one dragon born without scales. Now perhaps Seath understood disparity and want in a way that was all too personal. For as you see, it was a dragon's scales that tethered them to eternity, and without them Seath was a victim of time. He resented his peers for this, but in this curse he found knowledge. He knew now that his fellows could be made as finite as he was, and he knew how it could be done. And all of this he told the young High Lord. From then on, it was only a matter of time. High Lord Gwyn took his bolts of lightning, pure sunlight itself, and they sheared the scales from every dragon they touched. And now bereft of scales, why, death was able to take them, Grave Lord Nito coming to claim them into his own domain. The war was long. It had been High Lord Gwyn that had started it, and by the time it was over, his own firstborn son was fighting on the first lines alongside him. But what they started was now inevitable, and before long the everlasting dragons were no more. The world belonged to the lords, and they would go on to make it in Disparity's image. A grand cathedral city they erected for themselves, Anor Londo, the city of the gods. And under their wing they shepherd humanity still in its infancy. Their new subjects would go on to build kingdoms, start families, lead lives. The gods looked upon their work and saw that it was good. And in that same moment, High Lord Gwyn became aware of an unbearable truth. It was a truth that he himself had taught the dragons, once everlasting, now ruined. Even the brightest of fires is doomed to fade. Welcome to Dark Souls 3, everybody. I've been so excited for this stream series. I started playing this game just at the beginning of this year, not 2 months ago, and something about it really captured me. It was the richness of the lore, the haunting melancholy of its game world, how tight its gameplay was, and I just knew I had to share it with people somehow. I wanted to do something special to sort of bring it all together, so I hope you are all as excited as I am. I won't waste too much time with interludes or preludes. I think I might have wasted a little bit too much already. And let's dive in to Dark Souls 3. Now, hopefully it should work as soon as I click live screen. You might notice a bit of a fancy new overlay. I've been working on this one a little bit. And I'll be keeping a death counter right below me. And it'll keep going throughout the entire run. We'll see how much deaths we end up with. For now, let's navigate over to New Game and let's get started. Ready or not, here's Dark Souls 3.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones.
Ho ho ho, green giant. Sorry, I swear I won't interrupt for the rest of them.
Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
And there we have it. The intro cutscene where so much was told, but so little was explained. I hope I'll make it a little bit clear as we go along, just exactly what's going on here. So, let's do character creation really quick, shall we? And it's going to be a relatively quick affair. I have it down to a science now. Let's go with Courier 8 as our name. Gender female, of course. Age young, class. We are going to go ahead and start out with the Pyromancer. We're going for a Dark Pyromancer build, so Pyromancer is a great starting point as a result. And we are going to choose for our Burial Gift. I've heard people make cases for others, but I've always gone with Sovereignless Soul. The sovereign soul of one who slept beside you used to acquire many souls. That's just a big XP boost at the beginning of the game, and it helps us hit the ground running, so to speak. I have a lot of little optimizations that I've sort of put into play to make sure we are moving right along through the early game, because it could be tough with the Pyromancer. Most of their best weapons come online towards the mid to late game, so you really have to play the early game really smoothly. But let's do that here. So Sovereignless Soul, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a pre-baked appearance that I made just for this purpose. Gotta have blue hair. And we're ready to go. Alright, so run. End this series starting in 3, 2, 1, and go! Also, be sure to let me know if there's any issues, if the audio balance is bad, if there's skipping issues. I want this to be as pleasant of a stream experience as possible, and the sooner you let me know, the sooner I can fix it over in OBS. 5 more minutes, please. Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Here we are at the Cemetery of Ash, the first level of the game, and there are a couple of optimizations here. We're gonna teach that guy the meaning of pain, and then we're gonna run back here and grab this item. We can just consume soul items to get some extra EXP. So moving through this area will be about moving through it quickly and efficiently, grabbing all that's optional that is to be grabbed. Please enjoy that my basic attacks do 69 damage for this whole early game section. Very nice. Oops. Nice. Nice. Early Cleric Sacred Chime. That's a rare drop. See, we're already off to a wonderful start. And now over here, please say hello to our friend the Giant Crystal Lizard. Hello, Giant Crystal Lizard. And now this guy is very tough, but he also has a lot of stuff we want. He has rare upgrade materials and he has experience, a lot of it. So we are going to do something Dangerously cheesy. Now come on, buddy. There we go. Ow. Not to worry. Chug some healing sodas. He's still following, right? Perfect. Come on. Now, we're gonna ruin this guy's day because he'd ruin ours if he gets a chance. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lead this guy on a merry chase. Come on, buddy. Nice and easy. He's gonna waste some time. That's okay. Just get it out of your system. And we are just gonna bait him on this cliffside. Oh no! I haven't failed that trick in an exceptionally long time. Gotta love those stream nerves. I wonder if that's why people from Games Done Quick always say, wow, that's never happened before. Every time something goes wrong. So, we'll take that from the top. 69 some guys over here. 69 some guys over there. Just having a good old time. Let's just call this extra grinding. Yeah. These guys are worth some experience. Let's just get some more. See, that fading soul made it totally worth it. Alright, second verse, same as the first. Hello, Crystal Lizard. That was the shortest roll of all time. Is your heart in it, buddy? Alright. As we're walking along on Moonlight Bay, you can hear the lizard singing. You can hear the lizard say. Hello, goodbye. That was incredible. Sir, please. Whoop. We can just go around. Note to the audience, we can retrieve our souls if we die, but we have to pick up that little glowing green pool of blood. Oh my god. This guy. Come on. Come on. Yeah! There we go. First try. Right? That was first try, right? But yes, he gives us 4,000 souls in the early game, which is incredibly huge, and that Titanite scale can be used to upgrade boss weapons, and it's the only upgrade material that can be used as such. We're going to go ahead and rest at this bonfire. Resting at a bonfire, what it does is it restores all your health, refills your healing item, and it respawns any enemies around. And we may be using one or two or all three of these aspects at different times in the run. Also, we're going to do some hardcore parkour. We are going to jump onto this this coffin, and grab a Titanite Shard. That's for upgrading regular weapons, and they are very important in the early game. I have a route to pick as many as I can optimize. So we'll be doing that. And then already we are on to our first boss, the Eodex Gundyr, the Ashen Judge meant to judge the merit of all those who would seek to link the flame. Basically, if he kills you, you're really not going to make it this far in this game. We start attacking him immediately after we take the sword out because he takes damage. Oh, failed parry his first attack, but that's okay. There. Got the second parry. Going for the visceral. Oops. Just gonna do a quick heal. Okay. We're still all good. Now we're going to switch to our fireball. Okay, let's not get too cute. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Dodge. And one more hit. One more hit. There we go. A little bit messy, but first try. I think that's worth a jump for joy. Yahoo. And we got the Coiled Sword. Sometimes when I'm remembering, I'm going to go, I swear, into the item descriptions for some items, because there's some juicy lore in them. The Coiled Sword, for instance, you thrust into the Shrine Bonfire to activate Bonfire Warp. Sword missing from the Shrine Bonfire cannot be equipped as a weapon. Thrust into the Shrine Bonfire to restore its power and enable travel between bonfires. The sword is only bequeathed to chosen Ash, as judged by the Eodex, who awaits the arrival of Ash as a scabbard. We're just gonna take a nice little bonfire nap, get those Estus flasks back, and we are off. Knock knock, it's Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. And onwards. Be sure to pick up the Broken Sword, the most useless weapon in the game. Everyone give it a hand. And we're running up these stairs towards the hub world of Dark Souls 3, the Firelink Shrine. Now things are going to move a little bit quick from here. I have a couple of optimizations that I want to do, and that all starts with me accidentally unequipping my axe. We're going to chug down our Soul of a Nameless Soldier that we got from the early game. We are going to use all of the Souls items that we got in the starting area. And we're going to do our first major bit of leveling up. So that's all of them used. We are heading into the first level up screen of the game with 10,000 experience, which is really darn good for this early. And we're going to say hello to the Firekeeper.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
So, as she indicated, the Firekeeper is here to take souls and use them to empower us.
Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
So for our first level ups, we're going to put more points, We're going to put more points into intelligence and faith as our primary stats. Later on, like I said, during the early game, you really don't have tools that can take advantage of those stats being high. Whereas, instantly, it's really good to get your health up. I'm going to target 20 as my starting number. So all of my early HP straight into health. I'm sorry, I should really not be pressing A through all these dialogues on a new stream. My apologies. So now, let's do some quick cleanup around the shrine. There's a lot of items to grab just in the starting area. We're gonna head up here, get the Soul of Deserted Corpse. Actually, we have a decent amount of souls, so we'll make my first lap, and then we'll do an early skip. Jackie, what's up? Sorry. Hold on, everybody, just a second. We'll be right back. And we're back. So sorry about that. Jackie needed help finding something from the other room. Okay, where were we? Alright, we were doing our early game run through of Firelink Shrine. Let's see. First of all, we are going to circle on to our left. And we are going to face the bane of early game players, but the best friend of knowledgeable individuals like me, this samurai guy. Now, as a pyromancer, you can really just cheese him. He's incredibly strong for this early, and will probably kill you in like 3 hits. But, as you can see, it's pretty simple to just hurl fireballs at him until he dies. Alright, we take a sippy of our blue Gatorade, which lets us restore our mana. Also, blue Gatorade's the best flavor of Gatorade. I hope this isn't up for debate. And we take his Uchigatana and his master's attire. Now, the Uchigatana is a really great weapon, especially for dex builds early on. I mainly just kill that guy, because we're not a dex build, I mainly kill him for the 2,000 souls that he drops, and we can also sell the katana if we want to. Oh, these guys are here. Almost forgot about them. And we're gonna loop around, grab this. And we're running. Also, give a big hand for the landscaping team. Just what a gorgeous map. Very beautiful scenic vistas. Just mwah, chef's kiss. You'll love to see it. We're getting some Homeward Bones so we can ET bone home. It'll let us teleport back to the Firelink Shrine whenever we want if we use one. And embers, they restore what's known as your kindled state. You can tell by the little burning icon on the top left-hand side of the screen. That indicates that you have a health buff up. About 25%. It's really good to stay in a kindled state. The only thing that a kindled state does that's bad is enable PvP and lets other players invade your game. But I think that's really fun, and it'll be fun to add some spice to a streamed playthrough. You never know what you're gonna get. There are many nice dogs. This is not one of them. There are a lot of mean dogs in Dark Souls 3. Such as it is. Alright, and that lap should be good for a decent amount of experience. We're going to use the soul item. And we're going to hit the level ups again. Firekeeper, what's the haps?
Produce
Oh yeah.
the coiled sword at the bonfire. The mark of ash will guide thee to the land of the lords. To
Lordland,
Lothric,
no Lothric.
where the homes of the lords converge. Very well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
Alright, let's get that. Let's see. Figure 20. Let's get endurance up just a little bit. Basically, from here, I'm going to try and get our strength and dexterity to some breakpoints for being able to use some of the weapons I'm going to use. And then eventually, once we've gotten all our early leveling in, we'll start to put stats into our damage stats.
Very well.
Oops, sorry. Oh, Ninja Step Boy. Basically, if you haven't gathered, in order to link the flame and to make sure the Age of Fire continues, the Lords of Cinder need to sacrifice themselves to the fire, basically using their bodies as those, you know, those like match starter or wood starters? Basically use them as one of those. Lords of Cinder are named as such because they've done this shit once before, and I don't think they want to do it again, so they've all bailed on the party RSVPs to hang out at the Firelink Shrine. So we basically have to go around the world and beat these guys up, and drag them back kicking and screaming into these chairs so they can do their job that they were brought back to life to do, in the first place. One of them, actually, got the invite and actually came of his own free will. Let's go ahead and say hi to him, shall we? Yellow.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred course. This sad cadaver, no need to be coy. Have a closer look. Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast fading flame must be linked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a colossus.
So basically, the linking of the fire were the events of Dark Souls 1, and indeed, subsequent linking of the fires have happened over and over and over and over again ever since, implied to be thousands of times. And Ludleth of Corland is a pretty interesting guy. For one, he's a stand-up dude, super nice. But 2, there seems to be more to his Age of Fire, his fire linking, that's led on at first. We'll get a little bit more of that later on. Let's see. And also here. Now, we're not just the chosen unkindled, the #1 hero guy. We're just one of a couple of unkindled that were brought back. And this guy's another one of them.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think?
I gotta look up what other things this voice actor's in, because his voice is just incredible. I love his performance in this game.
What a sick joke. Asking us to seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Those who would link the fire.
We already got that dialogue. My mistake. I'll leave you to your business. Also in the shrine are our friendly shopkeep and blacksmith. Hello, shopkeep.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells.
Ropes, bombs, lantern oil.
Lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler.
It could be yours, my friend, so long as you have enough rupees.
I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont? No?
Also, can we help donate to your tombstone collection? Looks pretty nice. Okay, so we're going to do some early game selling. There's some items I want to buy and some items I don't need. Let's see. I can throw away the Uchigatana. I don't think I'll need... Well, what's the effect of this one? Okay, I can get rid of this one. We'll get a better one later. East-West shield, don't need. And we want to buy a couple of items. This will make sense later. Oh, let's see. Well, that's alright. Going to go ahead and buy 1 prism stone, 1 firebomb.
Ashen One.
And we're going to go ahead and do an actual skip. Breaking out some speedrun strats over here. Now we're going to take a little field trip up these stairs. Back around to this area by the locked gate. And this is what's known in the biz as Firelink roof skip. Let's see, line it up right. The idea is... it might take a couple of tries, but the idea is you can get some lift time by running into that tree, which you can use to jump on the roof of that building, which is normally inaccessible until you spend 20,000 souls to buy the key to the tower. Any second now. So how's everyone's day going? Hanging in there, I hope? Your Thursday not too arduous? Well, hey, it's almost Friday. And you know what Friday means? It means you can look forward to a whole weekend of staying inside your apartment again. Haha. Normal stuff's pretty good. I am a fan of normal stuff. It's not normal. Oh, nice! Good stuff, Nico. Glad to hear it. Yeah, my partner is currently busy with wrapping up some things, but after this stream and after she's done, we are going to have Korean barbecue for our anniversary dinner tonight. And yeah, no worries, Nico. Leave whenever you need to. And how is Valheim, by the way? I've heard good things. Oh, I thought we were gonna have that. And yeah, we're buying it, like, not cooked. So we're gonna try and replicate the Korean barbecue experience in the comfort of our own home. Ooh, chimney. Very good. If I don't get it after, like, a bunch of tries, we can just go ahead and move on. Because this does not make for exciting video. It's cool that they model for that, though. How fun. Whoop. Okay. And that wasn't even close. Doesn't help that jump is clicking the stick. There we go! And we're off. Now, there are a couple of really nice things to grab early here. One of them is meeting a fine, feathered friend. Hello?
You. Me, pickle pea.
Pickle what now?
Me, bumperum.
This is the Pickle Pea Pumperum Crow, and the crow likes certain shiny things. If you drop one of your items that Pickle Pea Pumperum wants, we'll leave this firebomb. You'll get an item in return. Like a large Titanite Shard. I bought some items that Pickle Pea Pumperum is interested in that'll be good to have really early on. Let's see, like Twinkling Titanite, which we'll need a lot of to upgrade what's going to be our main weapon in this playthrough. And we get some iron bracelets. I'm going to grab an Estus Shard now that we're done trading. That will let us upgrade how many healing item uses we have. Go through this extra hidden secret door. Pop around the corner. Grab the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring. Now, equipping this ring will make fallen foes yield more souls. So we're going to be leveling up a little bit quicker than normal through the early game. And that's all our starting business for now. Time to head off to the first real level of this game, the High Wall of Lothric. There we go. Just gonna put this right here. Really ties the room together. Bonfire lit. It's lit, fam. Now we're gonna fire up the bonfire, and like we read in the item description, we can now travel from bonfire to bonfire. Now we're gonna head to the first level of the game. And we're gonna shove this door open and just take in that sight. There's a lot of games with really drab first levels. I feel like Dark Souls 3 pulls out all the stops of the high walls of Lothric. And to our left, as we continue our tour, you'll notice these strange... I don't even want to call them trees, but it looks like something growing out of people. And they're reaching towards the sky, and this black substance seems to be escaping their throats, escaping their arms, bursting out through their legs. And we saw something similar with the Eodex Gundyr as well, with that big tar monster it turned into in the second phase. Just put all that in the back of your pocket. Just for now. We've set our checkpoint. Now I'm always sure to get this guy, because he's going to be firing his crossbow down below at you if you ignore him. It's good to do first. Some more mean dogs. Dogs are the worst in Dark Souls 3. The dogs of the arrows will literally teleport behind you to try and catch up. It's not fair in the slightest. This guy, really easy to dodge. The wind-up time leaves him super open for backstabs. And then you just stagger him for the 1, 2, 3, and he's down. We're just going to top off because the next part is a little bit dicey. Kill him. That guy's going to turn into another pus monster, but it's okay. They are incredibly weak to fire, which is another reason why starting Pyromancer feels so good. Get one more hit on him. And since we let him explode into his big goopy phase, he'll drop another Titanite Shard, another early upgrade item, as well as an Ember. So great to hit up early. By being diligent about picking up these Titanite Shards, we can ensure that the first weapon we'll upgrade is to a +1 before we hit the first boss, which is leaving us in great shape. So stop at the checkpoint, and then we're going to go down the main path now. Grab the soul of the deserted corpse, get this guy, and then run down here, because this guy's going to sound the alarm. Oh, the bonk. So that guy sounded the alarm. Not a big deal. It just means that these guys are aggroed onto us, and my camera is freaking out. But it's okay. Easy recovery. help cure this guy of his headache. Roll through the table. Grab these fire bombs. Then we're going to head on down. Yeah. Soul of a deserted corpse, always nummy. Shield guys can be a little bit annoying, but they aren't too bad. Now, we are going to book it because can't look at him. Dragon lands there. Got a dodge roll out of the fire. But he will go ahead and kill everyone over here for us. Very nice. And he gives us all the experience. So really, is he foe or friend? Over here, you'll see we have a treasure chest, but it is nothing but a simple treasure chest, for this is a mimic. And he has our first weapon of the game, and we are just going to say hello to him. Hello, mimic. He does a lot of damage. It is important to dodge every attack and not to get greedy. That's like the third grab in a row, buddy. Ooh. But nothing we can't handle. And we get the deep battle axe. Now the thing about deep infused weapons is they get rid of all scaling and replace what would be its scaling stats with a very high amount of flat damage, in this case dark damage for the deep infusion. That will let us get through all of the early to mid game just by upgrading this one weapon and completely ignoring offensive stats. It already hits really hard. These Lothric Knights are a big pain, but Pyromancer also helps with that as well. One more? Please? Oh boy. Oh, thank God. Okay. And I guess he drops his armor very early, and his gauntlets. Will that put us over encumbered? No. So we're going to wear his armor, just for fun. One thing that's important to know is weight. Basically, we're trying to keep weight ratio about under 70% at all times. Because if you get over 70%, your dodge rolls become really bad. And we're going to lock in our experience. One of the things that you want to keep in mind early on in your Dark Souls career is don't get too greedy with your souls. If you have a place where you can pop back to Firelink Shrine and level up, do it.
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak very well.
I may not always follow my own advice in this run, but you know, it's good to keep people informed of.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
Now I'm going to try and get dexterity up to 14 next. That will help us with meeting the requirements of the first major item we want. Also, I'm remembering we haven't actually used our Eodex Shard to upgrade our healing item. So let's do that.
Where I at your toilet, I am a smith.
Oops, I skipped all his dialogue. He's Andre the Smith, and he has a great voice. Also, we can infuse our Deep Battle Axe to level 1. Perfect. Reinforce Estus Flask. Perfect.
Maybe I don't want to see my work squandered.
We'll see you later, buddy. And we are back off to the tower on the wall, the new bonfire we just lit. You know, so far so good. There's been a couple of tight scrapes, but it's been a pretty smooth run so far, gotta say. Also, I am forgetting, around this corner, another Titanite Shard. Great to grab. Eventually we'll be swimming in them, but for now they are very precious. Say hi to this guy. And we're heading on out. We don't want any. Yeah. Drop down on... Well, cleverly dodge that guy. Grab these fire bombs. This guy's gonna turn into a goop monster. We pretend not to see it. We smack. This sparkly lizard? Now these guys drop upgrade materials and they run away from you as soon as you see them. So it's important to chase them down and grab them when you see them. They're pretty quick. Get him. I wasn't even going for that backstab. Very nice. Now we are making our way to a specific key that once we grab it, we can unlock the services of a friendly